regular tempo ganks need to be 100% in the regular tempo, meaning 100% kill. So here we go. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I did something stupid here.
So this is what I mean by the core foundation will keep you disciplined here. Both junglers are kind of, well, depending on if Diana gets a kill here, both junglers are kind of making a mistake by staying. What's up everyone? Coach Leo here. Just to quickly add some context, the VOD we are reviewing today was from one of my daily group reviews in the Jungle Academy. And I thought it would be really good to share with you guys as it essentially highlights the core foundation of what early game jungling is. Also, if these daily VOD reviews are something that you're interested in, be sure to check out the coaching links in the description below. Without further ado, enjoy this insane review. So let's review the early game. Let's take a look.
I just do stupid stuff.
Okay, you do. Okay, so it's like sometimes it's feeling like it's maybe a little bit unforced.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take a look. So first things first, the whole idea of making a plan ahead of time. I get the idea, right? It's good to communicate to your team like what you kind of are thinking, but we shouldn't have this mindset because ganking top is not something that you can predetermine. Ganking anywhere is not something you can predetermine. Okay. The way that you want to think about ganking and farming is this is going to clean up your early game a lot. Okay. So we have two kinds. So tempo equals time. So in our spare time, this is basically when our camps down. Okay. And then our regular tempo equals camps up. Okay. So this concept, spare tempo, regular tempo, spare time, regular time. When you're loading into a game, the only thing I want you to think about is where can I get a kill? So your idea that you wanna maybe play around top is okay, right? Let me see the draft real quick. The pre-game plan, where can I get a kill? This is just what you ask yourself. And this is based on things like your team's gank setup, right? So like Bard has his portal. This has to do with things like the enemy team. So we have tab here now. Cool. When we look at like where we can get a kill, we'll get back to this tempo and we'll just keep this up for now. Okay. Even though it's just writing all over our screen. When we're talking about where can we get a kill, we're thinking about three things. We're thinking about volatility. We're thinking about gank setup, and we're thinking about the enemy's mobility. These three categories. Okay. So essentially what you want to do in the early game is you want to just path towards where you think the action is going to be or where you think you're going to get a kill. Sure, let's think it's top in this case, even though I don't agree with this going top, because if we actually do VGM here, right, Kayle versus Garen, volatility, it could be volatile, right? It's ranged versus melee though. So typically ranged versus melee, Kayle's just going to be probably just farming, to be honest with you. This guy's probably just going to be farming. Garen does have Ignite, which is some kind of volatility. So I'm even just going to give this a dash. Could be volatile. It's just a bit of a question mark. Now, does he have any CC for us?
No.
None. So we're going to give this an X. Does the Kayle have much mobility?
She's got her W.
A little speed up, right? So we'll give that a dash as well. So volatility is question mark. Mobility, little bit. Gank setup, non-existent. Let's do this for bot lane now. Okay, so volatility. So when you hear about volatility, it means two things. Trading, so people firing abilities at each other, or like a hook landing, like Thresh hook, Pike hook, Blitz hook, Naut hook, Leona engage. So that's what volatility means. So if it's Xerath versus Brand support, it's volatile not because if one thing lands they die. It's volatile because they're just firing abilities at each other constantly, right? That's why it's volatile. Yeah. If it's Pike versus Blitzcrank, it's not volatile because they poke, right? It's volatile because if one hook lands, it's like an all-in kind of lane. So what do you think Bard, what kind of champion is Bard? Bard's an interesting one. He doesn't really fall into a specific category. But do you think bot lane is going to be volatile with what we've just talked about?
Yeah, I think so. Because if Bard can land his stun or if Thresh lands the hook.
Good. Yeah. Obviously, Bard's stun, I wouldn't put it in the category of like if Bard's stun lands, it's just all in. But Bard is more like one of those mages who's like poking and doing damage and stuff like that. Okay. So yes, we think it's going to be volatile. Okay. Gank setup. Do we have good gank setup? What abilities does... Usually you want to look at the support when you think about this stuff, by the way. So what abilities does Bard have?
It's just his Q.
And he can ES in though as well.
Yeah.
Right. He could ES through this wall potentially. So gank setup is like, it's not great. I won't lie. It's a, you have something, but it's not great. It's not a tick. Okay. Enemies mobility. Do they have a lot of mobility? This champ maybe you're not sure about because...
If they have a wave, Nyla can like E through
the Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, you got...
Thresh has Lantern.
Good. So, but does Thresh have mobility? If we go on Thresh, does he have mobility? Not really.
No.
So when you look at bot lane, this is why typically people just say part the bot. Okay. I'm not saying that you should just part the bot, but typically you do. It's like probably 70% of games you probably part the bot. And then 30% are if you have like Sona versus Soraka. I always use this example. If it's Sona versus Soraka, what is the VGM for bot lane?
Volatility. I mean, they're just poking each other, but
They are poking, but this time with Sona versus Soraka, do they have a lot of damage compared to like Brand versus Xerath? No. And they have sustain because they heal. Perfect. Yeah, so that's not volatile. They also don't have a hook. So that's a perfect example of like a lane that's just not volatile. Okay. Does Sona have a lot of gank set up for you?
She has her speed up, but
Yeah.
not ECC.
It's not, yeah, yeah, she's got a little speed up, maybe a little slow on her passive. Not great. Enemy mobility, okay, yeah, of course, if it was Soraka, that would be a tick. But it's just like not a good lane, right, to play around. So this is kind of how you can start to think about things. Yeah, 70% of the time you're going to be pathing towards spot. So let's now go back to the other thing, the regular tempo, spare tempo thing. Because if you can figure this stuff out, I'm telling you, your early game will be solved. When we talk about these two things, let's just look at the minimap here. I like that your minimap is really big. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I had a problem where like I used to play top. I kept getting ganked and I never
and you had to make that thing bigger.
It out.
Yes, because this is your best tool. This is your best tool that you have. So your idea of playing League is we want to start the opposite side where we want to path to. So let's just say for this example, because you're starting bot side, let's just say we think top lane is the best chance we want to get a kill. Okay, let's just say that for this example. So how we're going to think about this is we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then kind of as we are, walking to the wolves here, it's okay to go for a top gank here. It is okay. But in your regular tempo, which would mean just then, right? That's regular tempo because you still have blue and grump up. Regular tempo ganks need to be 100% in the regular tempo, meaning 100% kill. Okay? So you just do not do anything in your regular tempo unless it's a kill. And that is a skill, right? It's a skill to know what is a kill and what is not. That's something you're just going to have to learn, right? We can go through maybe some ganking fundamentals in this review, depending on how, what we see. But that's basically what you want to say. So you basically want a full clear unless you think it's a guaranteed kill. So if finding out information on if it's a guaranteed kill or not also comes down to you reading the map's information. So let's just say you don't go for a gank because you don't think there's any kills. Let's say you do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you also do scuttle 7. Now, once you've cleared your camps, well, your spare tempo before scuttle, because I'll just count scuttle. It's not like one of your camps. So after you do a full clear like this, now you're going to have something called spare tempo, spare time before this camp right here spawns at 420. Okay, so I hope you know this is a very important timer here. So if you're clearing well in the game, you'll probably finish your full clear at like 330, right? Hopefully, this is what we're trying to aim for. We're trying to clear fast so we have more spare tempo. That's why clearing fast is important. Because if you finish this full clear at like 4 minutes, you're not going to have any spare tempo because you're going to have to go back to you're going to have to recall and then just go back to the first spawning camp. So fundamentally, core jungling is you always want to be basically coming back to this first spawning camp, back to your regular tempo, because remember when that camp spawns, you're back to regular tempo. You're back to only doing things if it's a kill 100%. If you ever want me to re-explain something, just let me know straight away, because this is what your foundation of pathing is built off. Okay, so after you do a full clear, between 330 and 420, you're going to have around 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Recalling takes 8 seconds and walking to your croaks takes 20. So it's more like 30 seconds. You've got 30 seconds right now of spare tempo. So let's talk about that. 30 seconds of spare tempo. So what do we want to do in this time when we have 30 seconds of spare tempo? You can go for a gank and it doesn't even need to be a kill. You should go for a gank and it doesn't, and just blow some. So if you just full clear here and then you gank top and you burn Soraka's flash, good, thumbs up. If you go for a full clear here and you go in and you ward enemy jungle, good, thumbs up. If you go here and you help Garen push his wave out, right? Good, thumbs up. And I just did it in like kind of priority. You want to gank as number 1. You want to ward enemy jungle as number 2. So, and then you want to like ward or get vision is kind of the same thing we'll talk about. And then you want to like help people push out. But you would never do those 3 things in your regular tempo. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you as a jungler, the whole jungling in a nutshell is trying to be as efficient with your time as possible. You're trying to never have times where you are not either gaining your passive gold and XP from your camps Yeah, it's just about maximizing your time and doing having as much influence and impact as possible. Because when you go for a level 3 gank, when you even type this in the chat where you say, hey, I want a level 3 gank top, and you just have that predetermined idea, you can see where it might land you in trouble. Oh, we just gank top and we just like don't get the kill, we don't get flash. Even if we get flash, not worth for your game.
Okay.
Okay?
Is
So
that like Kindred specific or
every
only
champ.
for like
I'm gonna say this on every single champ. Different champs have identities. So let me explain why a Nunu might level 3 gank more than a Lilia. Okay, so when Nunu does 1, 2, 3, and then he's looking top, what do you think the chance of him killing top is compared to a Lilia? Do you think it's higher or lower in a level 3 gank?
lot higher.
A lot higher. Why is that?
He's got the knock up, got the root, slow.
He's
a
got
lot of
insane.
CC.
That's his identity, right? His identity is that he put his skill points into early game, snowballing, literally. Making sure like the game is, yeah, he's a ganker. He is a ganker. But still as Nunu, you wouldn't just want to gank if you're just going to go around just chunking everyone and just hitting people to get them low. You still, as Nunu, if there's no gank available, you can still full clear. It doesn't mean you, as Nunu, you have to gank. That's how it works. Different champions just have different identities. The reason why Lilia's gank threat there is so low because she's Giga OP in other ways. She's Giga OP scaling. She's Giga OP clearing, right? So it makes sense. Like if a champion can do everything, usually they're just OP.
Yeah.
For example, like, you know, some of them hit like those marks, like specifically in the meta right now, like Pantheon. He's got a good clear. His scaling is okay. His gank is good. He's got a global ult. He's just stacked with so much stuff. That's why his win rate is insane.
I went to MSI in Vancouver and
Cool.
banned him every game.
Yes, because he's just broken. His kit is too much. So let's get into the game now. And let's keep those things in mind, what we just talked about. So I will link you, if you're a Kindred player, right? We just talked about how clear speed is very important. You don't need to be setting world records, right? But you do want to make sure that this is part of your game when you're first learning a champion. You want to at least clear so you can get to the scuttle at least at 3:30. You don't have to have smite, but you should at least be getting there on time when it spawns. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the goal. So one more thing here, actually, in terms of your early game. But the last thing here, the last core fundamental, in my opinion, that's really, really important, especially to build your foundation of early game. When this guy shows here, what does that mean? This squad is great, by the way. This squad is really nice.
Clearing to bot.
Perfect. So when does his Krug spawn?
Like 350.
When does your Krug spawn?
340. Sorry, not 350, like 240, 245, something like that. Sorry, what am I talking about? Like
it's okay. It's okay. What I want you to say, I don't even care about the timer of it, okay? He did the same as you, right?
Yeah.
He went 1, 2, 3. It's mirrored, right? So everything is mirrored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay? This is important because if he ever steps off that, let's say you keep good tempo. Okay? This is what the next really, really important thing about this is. So let's say the Diana doesn't understand the regular tempo and the spare tempo concept. If he now does his clear, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 and then you randomly see him ganking here at like 420, right? And you're already here at 420 because you're at your first, you've already done your jobs here and you're back here at 420. And you know he did what you did. What's going to happen there is like, you'll be able to do 1, 2, 3. His clear is 1, 2, 3. And he's showing bot at way past when his camp spawns, meaning he's off tempo, he's off time. You then know that like he's going to come back here and maybe after your 1, 2, you can actually intercept his 3 and counter jungle him and then go to his 4 because you know his 4 spawns after. So this is why downloading enemy jungle pathing, camp mirroring, and then you make that assumption that, oh, if he's wasting time, I can do this. And he won't know what you're doing because you'll just be 1 camp ahead. By the time you finish 3, he's just finished 2. By the time you finish 4, he's getting to his dead 3.
Okay. I've never heard of this. Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a little bit more towards champions that like farming, to be honest. Like this is more like, you know, you want to get the first thing first though. This is like level 2 in the you know, building your foundation. Okay. So we've camp mirrored. Nice. We're not going for top gank because it's not guaranteed, right? Which is great. When you walk between things as well, I know that there's not really anything to do here, but how we gather information based on if we want to gank or not, okay? You know, you don't need to be F-keying every 2 seconds on here, okay? But this map is very, very valuable. If people start randomly losing health and people start clashing, icons start clashing together, this is what I like to call a minimap prompt. It's a prompt for you to then move your camera here. So in this case, there's not really any prompts, but just keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind during this review. And whenever you're walking from raptors to wolves here, you can just click here with your mouse on the minimap and then just look with your camera. Because it's really important that we like gather information as we are going from camp to camp, because it gives us more of an idea of what we're going to do after our camp. So like if we were updating on top here, we're like, oh, Kale's getting lower. That's good, because then after blue, we check again. Oh, Kale's getting even lower. Okay, after grump. Oh, Kale's really low here. Can I just come over here and just like flash over this wall and just kill him, right? That's why it's important to update yourself. So here you have free time, right? You don't need to be looking at your character right now. Your character's already going to auto walk here. So great chance. Oh, you did it. Sorry. I should have just watched the video. Good. You update yourself. And what does this update tell us?
Waves pushing into her.
Good. Very nice. Yes. Wave pushing into her. What else does it tell you? She's just low. That's it. Not a trick question.
Oh, yeah.
She's half HP. Perfect. So it gives us like a, if the wave was pushing the other way, we could think, oh, KO was low. The wave is pushing. I like that you know about those. That's a good ganking skill set that you just said, that the wave is pushing back. It's really nice, because then we can say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do 1, 2, and then when the wave gets to like here, I'm going to skip my gromp and then I'm going to go kill her. Something like this can happen. In general, when you go for ganks, it needs to be when they're on a wave. So if she's able to push the wave in or something like that, then you can't gank. Last bit of early game things. So when we're on this side, where is enemy jungle?
On their bot side.
Yes. So lots of things to think about. And there's lots of things for you to now go off and think about here and improve on, even just in this first 3 minutes of the game. Last thing here is to ping danger on here. So this is exactly how you should ping.
Yeah.
Danger,
Yeah.
danger, danger. And then ping, press tab, and ping Diana in chat. It would be good enough just to ping danger on everyone. But this is how you like the best kind of pings you can possibly do. That's the last step to your first round. So let's talk about this. Are we in regular tempo right now or spare tempo? Spare tempo, good. So we want to use that time up before our gromp spawns at 420. So what are ways we can use that up? We talked about a few of them. This doesn't really look like anything's gankable right now. What's another way we can use it?
Ward enemy jungle.
Ward enemy jungle, perfect. Let's see. So this is what I mean by updating top is good, because we would just already know here, hey, after the scuttle, I'm not going to gank top. I'm just going to run in here and I'm going to drop a ward right here on his first spawning camp, or right on raptors. Either one is okay, depending on how much spare time you have. If you've got 2 wards here, like if you never used a ward level 1, you should try and get both these wards and then just reset right here. So use your spare tempo. Think about the jobs. Yeah, ganking would be better than warding, but it's not really gankable right now. This ward is okay, but a way better ward would be on his camps. Much better ward would be on his camps, because then you would know exactly what he's doing. When he comes back and he shows here, you come back and you go here, you know then, oh, okay, here he is. I can track him again. Boom. We know what he's doing. And I know all these other things. So here we go.
Oh, yeah, I did something stupid here.
Here we go, right? So this is what I mean by the core foundation will keep you disciplined here. Both junglers are kind of, well, depending on if Diana gets a kill here, both junglers are kind of making a mistake by staying, okay? So this is the last thing I'm going to review, just literally this first round. So Diana stays here, whether or not she gets a kill or not, right? It looks like she is going to get a kill. If she gets a kill, don't feel like you need to get a kill as well. Top. Okay, don't feel like that. Don't feel like I know you already made the decision to do this. If you had the regular tempo, spare tempo fundamental, if you had the idea that you want to be on tempo, which means always coming back to this spawning camp, right now, so you should have definitely based here. Then, right, she goes for this kill. We've camp mirrored. So we do 1, 2, depending on what she does, we know she's going to recall and go here. And then it's exactly the scenario I talked about. 3, 4, and then you just go and like gank bot or something. Or you don't even need to gank bot. You can just cross back to your side if it doesn't look good. So we'll leave it here. Remember, this would be completely fine if this timer was like 350 right now. This would be okay, because it's like you're fishing for something. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. I'm going to at least just start my recall here as well. And then I'm just going to be gone when it doesn't work. So you can apply this to every single round now that you play for the first basically 14 minutes of the game.
Okay.
Literally the entire early game, you can apply this, okay?